Welcome everyone to an awesome game between myself as the Ogre Kingdoms, going up against HDS as the Khorne. So we're going to be playing on Death Pass, and this was during Turin's tournament, which was the Chaos Clash, I believe. So it's going to be a competition between a bunch of organised content creators, and here is actually going to be two multiplayer players coming up against each other. I think HDS is from the Spanish side of life, and he's going to be here with Bloodletters backed up by a bunch of Flesh Hounds. There's going to be loads and loads and loads of Flesh Hounds here on the middle, ready to go. We are going to have an Exalted Bloodthirster in the sky. This man is going to have bucket loads of armor piercing, fire and magic damage, 95 speed as well to get around the battlefield with Death Bringer. Extra unit of harpies and just more dogs. Just dogs and dogs and dogs everywhere. Bloodthirst is just really going for the mobility here in the middle pocket. So for myself, we are going to be having Noblars, two units here. One going to be the double gold chevron, one here with a one gold chevron. Scrag the Slaughterer, he's going to be here with the Cauldron, backed up by a giant and some lead belchers. So Scrag, the man on the floor, we are going to have the Cauldron of the Great Maw, as well as the Blood Gruel. And here for the spells, we are going to have Troll Guts, the Maw, and then extra ingredients. We are going to have an Iron Blaster, certainly one of the best models in the game here for the Ogres, but it can get shut down here against Khorne. Two units of the Nobblar Trappers in Vanguard, and of course with Stalk. So both come forward to meet each other here. We do see I get the cannon going. The Iron Blaster is ready. He's going to be shooting downtown. I think catching a couple of dogs here on the way out. Yeah, you can see just one volley there doing so much damage up against the dogs. Now, HDS does really well here. 2 minutes to the point. He gets his Furies on the top, gets his dogs around the back, and keeps his Exalted Bloodthirster nice and hidden. Of course, he doesn't have to engage yet, but he is going to get the Bloodletters of Khorne over here to point 3. So I really do try and maneuver myself so I can get around the corner. There was some hounds here. I was trying to see if I could get around the corner and see them, maybe get a couple of shots on, but now I'm actually going to traverse over to the right-hand side so I can cover between the middle and then also point 1. So push forward here through the trees with the Nobblar Trappers. Try to see if I can get to point 1, get a little bit of infantry presence. I'm in the trees just to make sure I don't get spotted whatsoever. The Harpies, they're really trying to get around. They're trying to find some units. I'm sure HDS, simple mathematics, will say there's not going to be enough units on the field here. There's certainly going to be some in hiding. Now, he would have seen the summon here of the Nobblar Trappers and should know they're not going to be over here on the right side. So he sent a couple of dogs. The Chaos Warhounds are going to come forward, the cheap ones here, to try and see what's going on. So I'm going to be setting myself here up on the point, charging forward with the dogs, and here we go. We are going to go forward with the Nobblar Trappers, going to get some nice good damage. You're going to spread them up so he can't compromise both of them, hopefully. And you can see the missile damage coming out here, doing quite a bit up against the dogs. Going to be slowing them as well, and then the cannon shots are coming over. So you can see the dogs are already down to half health here, pretty much as they go into combat. And now we come in here with the triple Flesh Hounds. You can see they have been broken, they are going to be moving away there, and the Nobblar Trappers, more of them are going to be moving in. But you can see I'm still going to be capturing just 2 units of infantry, as the dogs do count here as cavalry. And they have bucket loads of armor piercing, and they're going to be ready to go, and I start to capture here at point 1 from the beginning. In the middle, I'm starting to capture point 2 as well. We do actually have some Flesh Hounds. They're going to be coming around the corner. I'd love those to get around, and now actually the lead belchers are going to be available. I move Scrag back, I actually charge forward with the lead belchers, but you can see I've kind of got nothing to protect them. I do summon one of the Gorges here in the middle. These bad boys are, of course, going to be Unbreakable, Frenzy, Stalk, and Vanguard. They have some really nice traits indeed. Dogs are charging forward, and this was a massive mistake for me. This was a start of many mistakes in the beginning that really made this such an open game. We're going to see charging in the back here. Dogs are going to catch onto the belchers. These bad boys only 50 armor. You can see, look at the charge there, taking quite a good substantial amount of damage. We do have Scrag at the back. He's going to be whipping around his cauldron there, doing a lot of damage up against the dogs, actually killing a few indeed. And we do get the giant in, but we do actually have to push the Nobblars forward. Now to fire up against the Chaos Warhounds of Khorne. We do get the Great Maw. The spell here is going to come, and that's going to be some lovely damage here up against the Khorne Halberds. Actually, probably do more damage here up against my own Nobblars, but you know, we do some good damage up against the Halberds. Yeah, pretty heavily armoured. We actually do move in with the Exalted Bloodthirster, and I do chase here with the Giant, coming with 3 headbutts, and a few here of the Clobbers from the club. You can see, very nice, good mobility. He's going to move for here. HDS is an extremely smart multiplayer player. He catches here up against the Gorges, doesn't want these bad boys on the point fighting up against his heavily armoured infantry. Those Halberds need to be fighting up against Scrag and the Giant. Point 1 has been captured by me, 3 units of infantry. It's going to be holding it quite nicely, and the same here could be said for HDS. Bloodletters have done it, and now he's going to move to the middle. The anti-infantry is going to be needed. 2 units here of the Nobler Traps are moving forward as we do capture it here for the Khorne. I go, right, I need a lot more infantry on the point, and this is when I start to throw. We see here that Scrag the Slaughter gets terrified in the middle, gets pressured by the Exalted Bloodthirster, bucket loads of dogs around, there's just not enough infantry here to protect, and I have been separated from my giants, from my Legendary Lord. In the middle, Gorgeous, they are going to be doing the work, they are actually going to be fighting up against the nice Chaos Spawn. We actually do have the Horn of Khorne giving that plus 24 melee attack. And the cannon is going to do well, but it really can't get in and do too much. It will get thumped relatively hard here by the halberds. Doggos are going around, and these things are disgusting. They are so goddamn good. 95 mobility, 65 weapon strength. They just tear apart Noblars. Noblars can hold. They do have 27 melee defense. They can do quite well indeed. In the back, we are going to have more Bloodletters, more Chaos Warhounds, and now a Cultist of Khorne moving forward. For myself, I got a bit of a sneaky expedition. We are going to see here Gorgeous come around on the left-hand flank to push up against point 3, so we can get a nice good capture here. And these bad boys vanguard and stalked, so I summoned them in the tree, so as long as he didn't see the summon, he wasn't going to get away with it. So what do I do here in a bit of response? So I start to summon some cheap units. I get 1, 2, 3 units of the Noblars to come forward. That's going to be about 480 troops ready to come and capture point 2, and I now just need a little bit of support here from some more tanky infantry. So I just need to get some of those ogres in, maybe get some dual weapons, or just get the regulars. But we are going to have the giant. He's going to be going down mass infantry here. This is where the magic needed to go down. The Great Maw could have done some fantastic damage on the giant, but of course he did fall rather early. So taking the lead here, it's now going to be 1.4k, 200 advantage to HDS. I was winning to begin with, but we are going to be taking the lead pretty quickly here. And we do have Bloodletters fighting up against 1 unit of Noblars. That's pretty good for me. I'm keeping 800 units, or 800 unit value at bay, as I do charge forward with Noblar Trappers. And now we're really trying to get some infantry on the point. We do move in here with the Exalted Bloodthirster, and now we can get in the double Ogre Balls. These boys are going to be moving forward, trying to get a little bit more pressure on. I was hoping to get the anti-infantry variant, so we can get in here and fight up against the Khornite Halberds. Khornite Halberds are going to be on the floor, and yeah, they've done the work here up against the giant. They've done what they needed to do. He's going to be down at 6,000 HP, and really starting to suffer. Iron Blast is in a pretty good location. He's going to be shooting from the left wing. He's going to get some nice volleys here down the middle of the halberds, and also get some good shots here on the Chaos Spawn. Nobles are in. I'm actually just going to be running away here from the halberds. I'm actually going to free up the front triangle here of the point and kind of bring them into the other side. They don't have much leadership, of course, here. The Noblars, they're going to break pretty quickly, but I can get my ogres through and now start putting some pressure on the point. You can see Bloodletters are now starting to charge back to point. I think HGS knows that it's a little bit under threat, and we could get some more elements on the point. So both of my Nobler Trappers push forward here up against the Chaos Warhounds. These bad boys are now going to be drawing back to the line, making sure we keep it. And I did a quite interesting play. So I forced some resources. 1.7k of the Minotaurs of Khorne now going to be charging onto the point here of 3 that I did manage to capture. It's going to be some points for me, and it's just kind of making sure I'm spreading the resources here of Khorne. Making sure that HCS is not too comfortable here in the middle. He's got a lot of heavy metal indeed. But we've got to make sure here that I keep spreading him nice and wide, because if I don't, it's going to look pretty disastrously in the end here for me. Saber Tusk Pack are roaming around. There's actually not many targets. I need the mobility, and I needed it a lot earlier, but the mobility here now is going to be relatively advantageous up against the Flesh Hounds. So they do have physical resistance, and these don't do magic damage, but the Saber Tusk Pack still have 70 weapon strength. These bad boys can still pack a punch. They do rampage, so you've got to be careful there as well. Yoga's going in. The Jokers can do quite nicely, of course. They are going to be anti-infantry armor piercing, and they have frenzy, and they're unbreakable. So there's a really nice element there, good mixture to have. Noblars on the point. Saber Tusks are moving in. You can see I'm slightly starting to capture it. Saber Tusks are charging in. We are kind of unstable here with the Flesh Hounds. They're going to be debilitating over time. And you can see now HDS is kind of panicking a little bit. He's going to be throwing all elements into the pocket. All the dogs, all the mobility, and everything here in the middle. Of course, sending 1,700 gold of reinforcements for the Great Weapon Minotaurs over here onto point 3 has, certainly allowed me to invest a little bit more here into the middle. What did I do with the Jokers? And then just brought them back round through to the middle, and now I'm supporting. Now we do have the Exalted Bloodthirster doing some very nice work in the middle. This bad boy is super cool. Oh, the slow-mo coming in. But yeah, super cool here to fight up against the Jokers. And they're pretty nice when supported by Scrags. They do get the healing from the Great Maw. But yeah, that's sadly, I think here what was such a big throw in the beginning. We still have quite a few Halberds here. Halberds of Khorne, 77 models. Double Noblars in the middle now, still getting some good capture weight on the point. Ogre Balls, the nice anti-infantry, the dual weapons, So more Noblar trappers, more Noblars pushing. You can see I'm just going for a mass infantry push here on the middle. I absolutely have to overwhelm. It's 2,900 up against 2.7k here. Now we still, of course, do have the Exalted Bloodthirster on. He's going to be doing some good work indeed. So surprised how long Noblars hold. They do not have much leadership. It's about 45 in total. And yeah, they can hold pretty well here up against terror-causing Exalted Bloodthirsters. They've probably seen it all before. Bit of a mistake for me. I do actually get quite a few of my Ogre Balls caught up on one unit. They do break pretty quickly, but you can see I do push them around the corner. Just trying to make sure we do get on the point. We are so close to capturing. And the nice thing about Khorne, only 28 speed for the infantry. But when they do get on, 100 armor is devastating to deal with. So Ogres are on. We're still getting a bit of capture weight here in the middle. 3.3k here for HDS, 2.9 for me. And now we're moving on just more and more Ogres. We do get the Minotaurs with great weapons. These boys are charging in. Those big axes are going to be ready. Anti-large armor piercing to thump up against my Ogre Balls and take the boys down pretty damn quickly. The capture point is so close here for me. It's really, really getting close indeed. Over on the right side, we do actually have the cannon. Had to drop behind the Noblar trappers. I was able to get away here from the cultists of Khorne. Quite a good bit of pressure here. But I'm now able to get around the corner and start shooting down the lines. Now starting to capture here a little bit for Khorne. They have 1-2 dogs and double halberds here to do a little bit of capturing. I do have quite a few entities myself. You can see a lot of these are pretty low on the entity count. They're going to be dying pretty quickly and they're going to be really suffering here. Noblar trappers probably would have been enough to pull the weight above, but sadly here it's not going to be so. Over here on the left hand side, I do actually send some more of my infantry here, the Noblar trappers, to come round. I think HGS learnt there from that first engagement that I like to get these sneaky plays going. So he's kind of got one unit around here. I think he must have seen a summon. And you can see I actually get some more Jokers coming around the corner. This is an all-in play here. I'm going to get some nice trappers at the back for really some good capture element, which are actually going to be moving some Bloodletters a corner forward, and then we're going to get some of the Jokers on pop, just to give a little bit more punch. In the middle, I've well and truly lost it. I went all in to try and capture point 2, with just mass infantry of Noblar supported by Ogre Balls. It just wasn't enough. In the middle here, we have some more of the Chaos Furies attacking up against my Noblar trappers. Cannons are going to be shooting down the line. The Chaos Cultist is also going to be in charge. Over here on the left hand side, my last ditch effort to capture anything. I'm actually going to have more capture weight with the Chaos Warhounds coming over. Bloodletters are charging. I'm actually going to be shooting here. I don't think HGS has noticed. I'm going to be getting more and more capture weight because I'm doing the damage here up against the Warhounds. It all comes down to the model entity size. And now we're going to be charging in. Actually, if I get my Jokers forward and then I drop back here with the Noblar trappers, I can still get some range tools over the top. So pushing here, I do break the Warhounds pretty quickly. Chaos Warhounds break, and that it does give me a lot of capture point bonus. So 3,300 against 4.5k. We do see I am going to be capturing point 3, but HGS is super quick on the point. We are going to be having 2 units of Warhounds plus just the extra Bloodletters coming forward. He's got a dominant position here in the middle. Double Halberds still going extremely strong. I get some more Noblars. I take some off the field, and I just want to summon as much as humanly possible. I need a triple cap at this point, otherwise it's looking pretty dire. On the front here, Jokers are going to be fighting. Noblars are actually off the point. Got to be very careful here that I don't lose it. But my Jokers here just have to fight to the absolute death. Of course, they are unbreakable. As long as I can keep the Noblars on the point and keep them alive, I should be able to maintain this position. In the middle here, we have a very good, strong unit of the Minotaurs of Khorne. The bad boys here are going to charge forward up against my Noblars, but they've got 2 units caught up. I actually have some of the Noblars. We do get some of the Chaos Furies, really compromising my infantry lines. I'm just trying to push and push and push everything forward. I'm summoning Saber Tusk packs, just as many as possible to charge them onto the point to have any opportunity of taking it. In the middle here, unfortunately, we are going to be terrifying the Noblars as we have the mobility is the Exalted Bloodthirster coming across. So many dogs, and the Bloodletters are just ripping apart my Jokers. They do not have much HP, and they only get regen there alongside Scrag. Unfortunately here, it looks like a little bit of a mistake. It could be maybe a bit of a glitch as well coming in from the replay. The replay was a little bit glitched, I think, but I think it was 99% accurately true. There was an update since I played this game. I'm now going to be on the beta, which is what's going to be live for you guys when we get it here on the 17th. But this was played on the previous patch. So yeah, it's a super awesome game. It was about, in this replay, it was about 4.2 to 5,000 points. I think in the end, I think it was actually a little bit closer than that. But it was a super awesome game, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I wanted to show just how great Khorne are. And the Khorne dogs, these flesh hounds, we'll get to those. We'll get to those, but they are super powerful. 500 here for Scrag the Slaughterer, 1,000 for the Giant, 1,200 here for the Iron Blaster. Really good pressure on that as well from his Exalted Bloodthirster, coming in for the Warhounds, just getting on top and just make sure this really powerful tool cannot fight. 130 here for the Lead Belchers, a brilliant shutdown. I didn't bother bringing any more on. He just had so much mobility on the field, and it was such a difficult time for me to deal with such heavy armor here from the Khorne Warriors. 430, 207 there for the Gnoblar Trappers, with 200 and 204 for the Gnoblars, so going to be roughly paying for themselves. So here for the Jokers, we've got 1.4, 550 and 510. They're not heavily armoured, and I've had a couple there just at the beginning, maybe with Scrag. Maybe it could have been a bit of a different game. But 570, 710 for the Ogre Ball Great Weapons, and 0. 214, 350 and 550. I definitely had all 4 on at the battlefield at one point, but it's like this one here was a little bit glitched there in the replay, with 120, 180 and 280 there for the Ogre Balls. Of course, this is going to be large, fighting up against the Khorne Warriors with halberds. Yeah, it's just not a great day for them. With 440, 570 and 250 there for the Gnoblar Trappers, 250, 125 and 200 for the Gnoblars. Yeah, it was really good fun indeed. So 1,900 here for the Exalted Bloodthirster, 470 for the Bloodletters of Khorne, with 1.7, 1.8 I believe 2.6 there for the Flesh Hounds with 900 gold value. So I believe these in total 7,000 damage value between the 4 units, costing only 2,800 in total. Now, of course, I think these were summoned multiple times, of course, so you are going to be those 4 units, 2,800 gold cost, probably would have been maybe a few more summons as well. So that's not entirely true, but still, they're very, very good value for money. They're extremely good value. 65 weapon strength, 22 of it being armor piercing is super strong indeed. 380 damage value, the 100 kills for the Chaos Furies. Just shows it's just ripping apart Gnoblars. Very good there for the Furies of Khorne, and 56 there for the Doggos. So for the Minotaurs, they barely got damage. I pretty much had nothing to deal with these things. Jokers would have struggled. I think Ogre Balls might have done. It's really difficult to deal with the Minotaur Great Weapons. They're very strong indeed. 840. We got nothing for the Blood Crushers of Khorne. Didn't manage to get those in. But we got 650 there for the Cultists of Khorne, with 900 for the Spawn. We've got 986 there for the Khorne Warriors Halberds, 920, 900, and 250. 150 here, 140, roughly nothing, and then we got 350 and 100 for the Chaos Warhounds. Yeah, very nice performance here from HGS. It's an absolute pleasure to play against him. Hopefully he enjoys this video as well, maybe get a nice good laugh from it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, of course, do smash that like button. It really does help here on the channel. And feel free to leave a comment as well. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions. Now, do beware, this was the last patch, so I think there might have been, maybe 1 or 2 things in the replay that maybe just a little bit dodgy, but apart from that, it's pretty much 99% accurate. If you haven't already, do feel free to subscribe, and then also check out that description. You can find my other social media platforms, including, and most importantly, that Twitch and also Discord. I've been updating everything, trying to make sure that I'm as up-to-date as possible, and have things ready to go here in a couple of days' time for Warhammer 3. So, other than that, take care of yourself, guys, and I'll see you all very, very soon.